Okay, shout out to YouTuber, owner of the channel Couple of Fools. He made a video that I cited in my last video where I was talking about a PlayStation fan gets a hit of the Xbox, likes it. In that video, I talked about basically his conclusion, and I pivoted to Doc Dark's video because Doc Dark is moving from console. Well, he's moved from console to PC, and he's concluded a lot of my suspicions that when you get to try something, you'll realize that it's not as bad as you perceive it to be at first. Now, some of my audience members, you've chastised me and said, dude, why didn't you take some time to look into his views and share your views on them? Like Hardcore Gamer 1964, shout out to you, sir. You said, I already know what it's like to play on PC. The more interesting video would be the one about the Xbox. Interesting. I would not have thought that, for the most part, our PC community would be interested to hear someone's views about the opposing platform after having tried it. So I went back. A Couple of Fools, you are on a roll. So he's making another video here talking about PlayStation Fanboy plays Halo for the first time. There's a lot of interesting comments here, and I think we'll just watch a little bit of it, and I think it's probably going to go ahead and possibly iterate what I've been saying about a lot of people drawing their conclusions about the platforms. I did my homework. I bought and paid money for my first owned Xbox console with the Series X. Before then, somebody had gifted me a 360, which I played a few games for a while. I gave that 360 away, but the Series X was my first console. And at this time, Game Pass had matured, at least to a point, and I can tell you that that ecosystem actually did impress me, and that's when I knew Microsoft was playing something really, they were playing at something. This is before Bethesda, this is before Activision, they were playing at something. Or I think it may have been after Bethesda. But anyways, to the video.
Okay, to offer some perspective on what I'm about to tell you, back in the day, I'll admit, I really was involved in the console wars, man. And I know I was an idiot, I was stupid, I was young, and foolishly I rallied behind PlayStation. And every Xbox fan would always throw this game in my face, no matter what you said to them. No matter what ammunition you thought you had or what you had to say, they'd look at you in the eye, especially back in the 360 days, right? They'd look at you in the eye, unfazed by anything you throw at them, and just simply say, Halo.
You know what's crazy, guys? I never have been a big player of shooters. FPS is not my thing. And when I came to college in the US, I mean, I grew up in Africa, so all we played were, soccer games and, some sports games. Me and my friends would play NBA and we'll play some other games. And when I showed up in this country, I was in college, and every friend of mine that had an Xbox 360 in their room, in their dorm rooms. In fact, I don't remember having any American friend that had an Xbox, that had a PlayStation in their dorm room. I don't remember any. Every single friend of mine that I made while I was here in university had an Xbox, and everything that they were playing was either Halo or Call of Duty. I didn't know anything about the console war then. I had no idea what was going on. However, I knew that statistical fact that if I popped into anybody's dorm room, they would be jamming out to this particular game. And I did not know how to play it. Like, I didn't pick up the controller. I didn't bother, but I just observed. And boy, I can now see from the perspective of somebody who's who was in the console wars, how that must have been, and the interest to even want to figure that out. That must have been very interesting.
And you was just left with a bit of a slap in the face because you didn't really have much to say about it. Because even though I never played Halo, it was fairly obvious to anyone with eyes, ears, and a brain that Halo was taking the gaming world by storm, right?
Apparently it was. I just didn't know.
It was Halo 2. I remember when that came out and everyone went on about it. And I probably had a bit of FOMO. I probably didn't admit it to myself back then, but there was a part of me hidden buried deep away that felt like I was missing out on the fun. I mean, I had friends who would have these Xbox Live parties, right? And they'd all sit there with different setups in different rooms, and they'd play Halo on Xbox Live. And meanwhile, me, PlayStation fan, was like, I didn't have anything like that. I mean, really, nothing. The PS3 for a long time had nothing like that. I mean, it was just didn't happen. So I'm there playing Uncharted, trying to convince myself that I got the better deal out of the equation.
That's funny to hear. I remember in the student lounges as well. You know, in some universities they'll have like a student lounge, there'll be a TV. These kids will come downstairs from the dorms and they'll hook up like, Xboxes and play Gears of War and all of that stuff. There were different like, cliques and crews of kids. Some will play fighting games and some will play the fighting game ones. I'll sit there and watch because, I enjoyed fighting games and such. But it's interesting to hear this.
So Halo, you can't escape its magnitude, the gravitas attached to that game. And yes, as a PlayStation fan, it haunted me for a while. Halo 3 hit, bang, all over again it happened. The entire world taken by storm by the big green giant Spartan. And again, Halo Reach then happened, taking the world by storm. And as a PlayStation fan, you just had to sort of sit there and take the L. You did, but you couldn't escape it is what I'm saying. And then yes, I'll even admit that as a PS fan, the downfall of Halo, I enjoyed it. And I know that's terrible. I know that that's appalling. Listen, don't judge me. Many of you have done it as well, okay? I'm older now. I'm seeing the error of my ways, but we're all fallible. I enjoyed it, I did. When Bungie sort of wasn't doing it no more, and the reviews started to come out that Halo was not as good, I was like, yeah, take that. But anyway, fast forward to today, that's all said and done. I just wanted to be transparent, right? So, got my Xbox Series X. I was really impressed with it, and I was thinking, what iconic game can I start first? And it had to be Halo, so I downloaded the Master Chief Collection, and I started Halo Combat Evolved. And well, that FOMO I was feeling, now I really feel stupid because I really did miss out. I'm playing this thinking, why wasn't I involved in those Xbox parties back then? Why?
Dogma, taking a stance on something without being open-minded enough to try it. And I'm going to stop, his video here because, again, I don't think anybody is surprised. Before I picked up the conversations about Xbox, I had to try the Xbox ecosystem. I started out with Game Pass. I was already a PC player. I had no need to go get a console. I'm an enthusiast. At this point, I'm buying CPUs that are basically the same amount of an Xbox to do my work and to do my gaming. So there's no reason to do that. But I had to know, what in the world is Xbox even up to? And some really interesting things have been, in my opinion, they've laid an impression on me that I'm like, okay, if anybody was to ever pick up a console, the Xbox Series S, because I don't want you to pay $500 for a console, I want you to pay for a PC. However, the Series S is exactly where it's at. You get things like Play Anywhere. If you have a PC, you're basically getting 2 copies for one price with Xbox games. And even some third-party games that allow for Play Anywhere. I think I'm probably the biggest proponent of this because the one copy, see, I was first salty when I bought, when I paid $90 almost for Gotham Knights, the digital edition on Xbox, because I wanted to, play from New Zealand and play very early, right? So at the time when I went to GameStop, I was like, man, I gotta trade in. I had to go trade in some old games because I already bought the PC version. That was not a question, right? And so when I went ahead and got the Xbox version, I was thinking to myself, man, this just seems like a lot of money and all that. However, it really did pay off when I finally one day just logged in. I didn't even know that I had Play Anywhere. That was the craziest thing. And this is one of my most played games. And then I find out, crap, the game is coming to Game Pass. Let me go play it on Game Pass. And then I open up my Xbox app and I realize that I actually have a copy of the game on PC. I could have even not bothered with the Steam version, which eventually corrupted on me, the save files on Steam, after I got way far into Heroic Assault, level 80 and such. I eventually, realized that, man, I could have not bothered with the Steam version. I could have just paid for this version that I had on the Xbox. And once the game launched on PC, I could have just stopped playing and roll straight into to continue my gameplay rather than start on the Steam all over again. If that is not impressive to you, I don't know what else is. I mean, if that does not convince you that people are enjoying a benefit in the Xbox ecosystem, that's not just exclusives and all this stuff. I don't know what else will convince you. To be very honest, man, I have to be very, very frank and very straightforward. That this is definitely something that, as a gamer, this is what you should think about an ecosystem. What can I get out of this ecosystem? What are the benefits of being in this ecosystem? And as you do so, I think there are just so many other things that, you would get to realize that has made people stay on the Xbox ecosystem this long. I didn't know. Even on PC, yes, we have a lot of great features, a lot of great benefits. But where can I buy 2 copies of a game for the price of 1 and be able to continue my progress across both of them? As much as I want to give grief and give flack to the Xbox, interface not being good enough, because Steam is just absolutely killing it and such. Still though, it is money that I'm spending on these games. I don't care if it's blue or green, right? So again, I don't spend money on Gotham Knights on Steam. Shout out to Warner Brothers Montreal, but also take one piece of my shout out back. I'm having to go find save files because my original Gotham Knights save files are corrupt. I cannot play them anymore. Something happened. I think I have them here on my desktop or my documents. Something happened, and one day I launched the game. If I take down an enemy, the game crashes instantly. So what version of the game carried me through on PC because I didn't want to play the 30 FPS version on console? It was this game. And then finally I'd found a save file that was close on Epic Games, and that was the one that worked. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just play that particular one. But this save file I can basically cultivate, and I can basically do that with. And even in my library here, I think I have a lot of different Play Anywhere games, I think. Let me see. This is Doom. This is the Doom for PC. I got this one for free on Amazon or whatever it is. Forza Horizon 4, the delisted one. Yeah. This is also, I think, going to be a Play Anywhere game, if I'm correct. See in store, it's delisted. It no longer exists. Okay, it's a Xbox Play Anywhere game. So when it came down to buying this game before it got delisted from, Steam, I decided to go this route and buy it, and it's Play Anywhere. So again, I'm looking at this as a PC player, and I'm saying to myself, goodness gracious, why are they here? Well, while they were suffering through the loss of significant ground in the console war, they understood that to keep their audience, they needed to be pro-consumer. And now that, on top of everything that they have, is benefiting them way more. I'm telling you, I have not touched my PlayStation console until just this video that I made for you guys. I made y'all a video just recently about controller choices, and I had to move my PlayStation while I was setting the desk up, and I plugged it in and accidentally turned it on. I haven't touched it since for months now. Because what am I going to do with it? Any game I want to play, I play on PC. If I want the convenience of, say, having to move a device that I can game on around the house, I'll use my console. I already built a PC I moved the Xbox. I already built a PC to take over that place anyways. I haven't built a mini ITX in a while. So the video that I just showed you guys, if you guys have been watching the videos, I hope you guys have been watching the videos. I just made a video to talk about the anatomy of a gaming PC where I had like a small PC set up with, some of the different, pieces, components, and how you can pretty much set it up with big picture mode and such. This video right here. So this PC is going to take over my Xbox. It's almost a similar height, just the width is different because you gotta fit in some of these bad boys in here. My 6750 XT is one of these brands that's just massive. I guess it's just a lengthwise. I don't think when you say massive and bulky, you're talking like 4080s and 4090s. Those things are big aftermarket ones. The Founders Edition are the smaller kinds. But I'll get out of your hair, man. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. There's an importance to keeping an open mind over all of this stuff. Thanks again. Peace out.